Hi everyone, welcome to FluentWorlds. My name is Aleja and I'm going to be your teacher. I am so excited for our topic today. We're going to be learning so much about English and helping you become fluent. If you have any specific questions or any topics that you would like to learn, please leave them in the comments down below. So let's get started on today's class. Today's lesson may seem a bit primary, but this is an essential skill that you need to know in any situation. Whether you're meeting a person for the first time, or if you're given an assignment and need to speak to a large group of people. I want to make sure that you are able to properly introduce yourself. Being able to introduce yourself is one of the most important skills in any scenario, especially when you're learning a new language. So today, we're going to learn the key elements of a self-introduction and how you can memorize facts about yourself, questions to ask another person when you want them to introduce themselves to you. This lesson will give you the skills you need so next time you meet someone, you'll be able to do so seamlessly and confidently. Let's start off with a greeting. Something like, "It's so nice to meet you," or "It's a pleasure to meet you." The difference between these is that one is slightly more formal than the other. Let's go back to those. The first one, "It's so nice to meet you." That word meet, it ends with a T, but it's a lot easier to go and flow without emphasizing that T. So it's so nice to meet you. Do you see how it kind of sounds like a D at the end instead of a T? That one is the more informal. "It's so nice to meet you." This is what you're going to hear and probably say the most often. The next one is your more formal greeting. "It's a pleasure to meet you." That word is pleasure. "It's a pleasure to meet you." That's just slightly more formal. In this instance, you would say this if you're meeting someone in a business setting, or if you're introducing yourself to a large group of people, or you're meeting someone for the first time that you've been wanting to meet for a long time. "It's a pleasure to meet you." Then, of course, you want to say your name. This you can say one of two ways. "My name is blank," or "I am blank." So I would say, "My name is Aleja," or I could say, "I am Aleja." Either one of those would work in any scenario. If you're going back and forth in a conversation, this is when you could respond with filler phrases, such as "nice to meet you too," if the other person says "nice to meet you" first, or "it's so nice to finally meet you." Then we can get into the details about yourself, like where you're from, what you do for a living, what brings you to the area that you're in. So, for example, "I'm from blank. It's a city in blank." For me, I would say, "I'm from Salt Lake. It's a city in Utah." That's how you would say where you're from. The next thing you could say is, "I'm currently living in blank." This is if you're from a specific city, but you're not currently living there. For example, "I'm from New York, but I'm currently living in Dallas," would be something you could say. You can say those two sentences together like I just did. "I'm from New York, but I'm currently living in Dallas." Or you could separate them. "I'm from Salt Lake. It's a city in Utah, but I'm currently living in Dallas. I really enjoy it." Those filler sentences are really nice to have because it keeps the conversation flowing. Next, this is when you could continue with what you're working in. I could say, "I work in engineering," for example. That ing makes it an action. So I work in engineering. You could also say, "I work as." I work as an engineer. Those are two ways to say the same thing. So for example, I could say, "I work in education," or I could say, "I work as a teacher." All right, so what brings you to the area? This is a great question to ask someone, especially if you're meeting them at a place where people typically vacation, or a lot of people are gathering for something like a conference or meeting new friends, etc. What brings you to the area? Then you could respond with something like, I'm here on vacation. I'm just visiting. That's a really simple answer that could include a vacation, work, visiting family, etc. I'm just visiting. I'm here on vacation. I have family that lives here, or I'm looking to move here. Those are great answers to know if someone asks you, what are you doing in the area? Or what brings you to Dallas? What brings you to New York? I'm visiting here for a week. I'm here on vacation. I have family that lives here, etc. If you're in a one-on-one situation, it's also vital that you ask the other person about themselves as well. That way, it's a two-way conversation. If you're only talking about yourself, it can be perceived as rude. Here are some basic questions that you can ask another person about themselves. Where are you from? Are you from around here? How long have you lived here? Could you remind me of your name? Where do you work? Do you like your job? Do you like this area? What brings you here? So let's go back through and listen to those questions one more time. So first, where are you from? The emphasis is on you because you're asking the other person. Where are you from? Are you from around here? How long have you lived in the area? Could you remind me of your name? Where do you work? Do you like your job? What brings you here? This one is important, like I mentioned before, to ask if you know that you're both visiting the area. Now we're going to learn how to exit from the conversation. You can say things like, it was so nice to meet you. I hope to see you soon. Or, it was so nice getting to know you. Take care. Let's review. Your introduction or first time conversation should be somewhat short and concise, but should open up to potentially have a longer conversation as well. Mine would sound something like, hi, my name is Aleja. It's so nice to meet you. I'm here in Salt Lake City, Utah, visiting some friends. What brings you here? That's great. I live in Dallas now. I've lived there for about a year. Where are you from? It was so nice getting to know you. Take care. Great job, everyone. I hope that you feel super confident now in a self-introduction. All of the skills we learned today can be used in multiple scenarios, whether you're meeting someone one-on-one or giving a broader explanation about yourself. If you have any additional questions or comments or want to tell me what your introduction would look like, please comment them in the comments down below. Thank you so much for coming to class. Make sure that you subscribe to our channel so that you never miss a class. See you next time.